I'm going to demonstrate for you 4 different types of outerwear wrapped garments so that you'll be able to distinguish between all 4 styles. To do this, I'm using a piece of very finely woven Italian wool gabardine. It is modern day, but it's very typical of what would have been used for the Greek himation, the Etruscan tabina, and the Roman toga. I'm also going to show you how to wrap a chlamys, which is actually very simple, and used a coarser fabric than the wool gabardine. But the gabardine works for our purposes today. I'm going to start with the Greek himation, and this is how a gentleman of ancient Greece would have worn his himation. He would have started by wrapping the fabric around the front of his torso and over his left shoulder. Model, if you wouldn't mind bringing out your left arm just a little bit, thank you. Okay. Then the fabric would have come across his body to the right and around the back, over the left shoulder. The folds would have been arranged according to the length and the width of the fabric as well as the size of the wearer. This is a Greek himation, starting with the left shoulder, going around the front of the body, around the back, with the end of the fabric coming over the top of the left shoulder. Okay, now the next garment is the tabena, a garment worn by the Etruscans, an ethnic group that actually grew out of the Hellenistic Greeks. The tabena is a much simpler garment. It covers the front and is hung over both shoulders, leaving the arms free. Model, could you use your arms, please? And if you could please turn her, oops, I'm going to just balance this a little bit better. Our visual references to the tabena do show that it's fairly equal in length in the back. It just goes around the back like this. Okay, so model, if you wouldn't mind turning again. Thank you. That is the Etruscan tabena. One of my favorite garments, a sign of true Roman citizenship, the toga. Mr. Model, would you mind starting with your left arm like this? Bend just a little bit, please. Okay, the wearer bends his left arm. The first end of the fabric goes over the left arm. The left arm then goes into the body. That holds it in place. The toga is then wrapped. Can you put your right arm up, please? Okay, now you have to lift your left arm just a moment. And the second end of the toga goes over the left shoulder from front to back. And the left arm is always used to hold it in place. The right arm is free to write, to eat, and to lead the Senate. In the latter days of the Roman imperial movement, toga designers, or toga makers, actually built in a little handle so that the wearer of the toga could hang on to the toga with a handle. The reason for this is because the toga became larger in both width and length and became somewhat unwieldy for the wearer to manage. Okay, the Roman toga starts over the left arm, wraps around the back, goes under the front arm, across the front, and then over the left shoulder. The fourth outerwear garment I'm going to demonstrate is the chlamys. This is a garment worn by working people and rural laborers throughout the ancient Greek, Etruscan, and Roman periods. We will also later see it in the medieval period. And it starts with a square of wool and goes over the wearer's left shoulder, and then is pinned on the right shoulder. Usually some sort of a very plain fibula or other sort of pin would be used. For our purposes today, I'm using a binder clip that was made for a drug company to advertise its drugs. Okay, now Calamus wearer, could you please move your right arm so you can see how, and again, the right arm is free. Could you move to the side a little bit so we can see the left arm is covered. So when the person, not that arm, wants to use the other arm, he needs to flip up the fabric to have that arm free, because of course, being a laborer or a day worker of some sort, he would need to be using both hands. Okay, this is the Calamus.